Trying to conceive and feeling overwhelmed and confused with unhelpful information and advice? This podcast is for you. Welcome to Don't Tell Me to Relax. I'm your host, Hannah Pern, a fertility acupuncturist and passionate advocate for better fertility education and support. Our aim is to empower you with information to support your fertility journey and provide a community for connection with people who get where you're at. If you'd like to join us or work with us in clinic in London or across the UK, all the information is in the show notes at the end.
AcuPip sponsors Don't Tell Me to Relax. If you're looking for a way to naturally balance your body, calm your mind, and relieve anxiety, then AcuPips has the answer. AcuPips is the UK's original ear seed company, founded by traditional acupuncturist Zoe Young. Ear seeds are small seeds or metal balls attached to an adhesive and placed on pressure points on the ear in specific combinations, creating balance within the body. We like to think of it as healing jewellery. Discover more today at acupips.com and use code RELAX for 20% off site-wide. AcuPips, modern healing, ancient practice.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Don't Tell Me to Relax. So this episode is all about the launch of our new community. If you've been following along for some time, you might know that we run a Don't Tell Me to Relax Facebook fertility support group. And we are now moved from Facebook and we are moved into Mighty Networks, and we're creating a better space for everybody to get support, information, and form connections. So we're just going to spend the episode talking a little bit about why this is important, why we do it, and what you can expect from our community. So really, the main reason why we're moving away from Facebook is because this new space that we've created is much easier to navigate. It's much easier to see the events that we've got coming up. It's much easier to access all the resources that we have provided over the years. It means you can find people by location. You can find people who have the same background as you. So, for example, if people are going through IVF, or if they're trying to conceive naturally, or maybe they're doing ovulation induction, then you can find those people. So it's got a much better search function. And the other good thing about moving away from Facebook, as Carly has rightly pointed out before we came on, is it means that people don't have to access social media to find that community and connection, because we all know that spaces like Facebook and Instagram is filled with fertility information and overwhelm and triggers for all kinds of different things. And so means that you're going to be able to go through your phone or go through your laptop without having to go into any space where you might see something or get shown something that you didn't ask for that is really going to upset you. So it's creating a much safer space is what I like to think. And the big news that we're really, really proud of is that we are going to be keeping it a free space. So we are not going to be charging a penny to enter or be a part of it. We're going to be providing events and we're going to make it completely free. And the reason we're going to make it completely free is because we understand that accessing fertility information and support is expensive. And we know as private practitioners who work one-to-one with people all the time that coming to see people in clinic like ourselves is actually quite difficult. And for some people, it's expensive and it can be a real barrier. And we don't want there to be any more barriers to people getting good support and information around fertility, because there is enough out there. So we're really, really proud about keeping it free. And the other reason why we really want to do this is because I'm reading a really good book at the moment. And when I read a good book, I go like all in on it. And this book is all about the power of community and how connecting with people is actually good for your health. And it basically talks about this idea that when you feel isolated, it causes lots of different physical reactions in your body that contribute to poorer health and therefore could have a knock-on effect to your fertility. And one of the things we know for sure is that people who are trying to conceive can feel very isolated because they might be with a group of friends where nobody has got that shared experience of struggling to conceive. And it's that shared experience and that understanding from another human being and somebody saying to you, I get where you're at because I'm in a similar place, it can really help change the physiology in your brain and then have that kind of knock on effect through the whole of your body. It's scientifically proven to be better for your health. And so, this is what the community is all about. It's about bringing together people who are not the same, because obviously we're all individuals, but who have that same background and those same feelings of anxiety and overwhelm and kind of feeling a bit lost in the world of fertility. So that is a big, big part of what we do. So I am not, it's not just me that's doing it, it is my brilliant, brilliant, brilliant team of fertility experts who are going to be providing their skills and expertise as part of this group. So they're all here, and I'm going to go round one by one and ask everybody to like introduce themselves and say what it is that they're going to be doing as part of the community and why that's important. So in no particular order, but Katie, you are top of my screen. So do you want to say a little bit about what you do and what you're going to be doing in the community for us?
Yeah, so hello, I'm Katie, and I'm a reflexologist at Hannah's Clinics, but also a fertility awareness mentor. So I'm going to be coming into the group and offering two separate sessions, helping you particularly with the fertility awareness element, because as Hannah and I have talked about a lot on the podcast over the last couple of years, like the education side of things is like so important to understanding, feeling confident, and knowing when to ask for help as well. So I'm gonna come in and really get down into like the nitty gritty of cervical mucus and basal body temperature with you, because I know a lot of people, there's a lot of information out there about it, but the reality of actually charting your cycle and understanding what mucus is or isn't fertile, what one really high temperature means, like that kind of the detail of it can get really stressful. But I'm going to show you how to zoom out basically, because what we're looking for is patterns across the whole menstrual cycle and seeing what's happening over several days and weeks versus like one individual day. And I totally appreciate why, like if you have a really random high temperature, for example, it could be like, is that ovulation, is it not? But like as I said, we're looking for patterns throughout the cycle. So I'm going to come in I think the 9th of June and the 15th of September. I'm going to start with basal body temperature. Is that correct, Hannah? Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the basal body temperature session first. So really taking you through how to get accurate temperatures, what thermometers are useful and not, like, and also that BBT doesn't have to be expensive. Like you can literally use a £5 thermometer from the chemist up the road. It doesn't have to be any big tech stuff, but also some of that can be useful if you want to, and how to interpret the charts. So that kind of looking at the picture of the whole chart and looking for a pattern of lower temperatures than higher temperatures, and showing you that on lots of real charts versus just kind of drawn out ones in a textbook of this is what it probably will look like versus in reality. And then I'm going to come in and do a session on cervical mucus and take you through all the different ways mucus can look, because we're often told, and this is true, that fertile mucus is that clear, stretchy mucus, but also if you're in the run up to ovulation and you see something that looks more like hand lotion, sorry to ruin that perhaps, but if you've got something like that coming out your vagina, that's still fertile in the run up to ovulation. So again, being able to look at patterns, being able to see when your mucus is healthy, when it's maybe not, and perhaps reasons that it's not, and then like what kind of further help to look at. So yeah, really getting you into the information surrounding the fertile window basically, and how to really understand your optimal time to conceive.
Great. And that's really good, isn't it? Because we know, because we talk about it all the time, that people who track and understand their cycle, their ovulation window, it really helps improve that time to conception and ensure that people are getting the right support. If there are any issues with their cycle, they can identify what they are and they just kind of get that understanding a lot quicker. So that is going to be really helpful. And people often ask, don't they, in the community that we've already got in Facebook, questions about BBT charts and cervical mucus and is that normal? So it's great that you're going to have that information provided. Thank you very much, Katie.
It's my pleasure.
So, Kirsty, you are next on my screen, my love. Tell us Tell us about yourself and what you are going to be doing in the group.
I'm Kirsty. I'm a nutritional therapist and I specialise in fertility. And I am going to come in and, well, we're together, Hannah. We're going to do a talk on sort of specific things that people experience. The first one being progesterone, I think we're going to do, because that's something that comes up all of the time. People worry about progesterone and people want to find ways to improve and increase their production of it. And whilst it is a whole cycle approach that we need to take, there are things that we can do in the luteal phase that can support progesterone production. And I imagine that we'll add to those talks throughout the course of the year.
Yeah.
Can be probably led a bit by what people want to find out to a certain extent. If people are struggling with something in particular, maybe they could let us know and we could pull together something on that.
That is a great idea. That's a brilliant idea. And I would say the most number one question we get asked, isn't it, is always around progesterone, luteal phase support. It's a really, really common issue. And I guess that is the thing that we are going to try and do is find what the common issues are and find really good information to help give you the support. And we just did that egg quality and egg health webinar, which is going to be in there ready to go. So if people want to access that, that's there and ready to go. Thank you very much, Kirsty. Lovely to see you. So, Carly, you are next on the screen. Introduce yourself in case anybody doesn't know you and tell us what you're going to be doing.
Yes, hi, I'm Carly and I'm the fertility coach within the group. And I host and will continue to host our monthly tea and chat sessions. So they are the last Wednesday of every month at 8 p.m. And it's a wonderful space for us all to get together and for you to talk about whatever is on your mind at that moment in time. There are sometimes tears, there are always laughs, and it's a wonderful, wonderful community. As you've said, Hannah, community to me is hugely, hugely important, and this is a wonderful space. This week's group have now set up a WhatsApp group on the back of it, so it's a wonderful space to get to get together with other people that, as you've said, might not be going through exactly the same thing as you, but totally get it and totally get the triggers and totally get the internal voice going through their head. So it's a wonderful space to get together. And then as well as that, I will be putting up, I'll be letting you know when I'm hosting my in real life get togethers as well. So I generally host about 2 or 3 walks a year. So either in Surrey or South West London. So we've got one of those coming up in Wimbledon in April. So I'll pop that in there as well. And then I also host get-togethers called Fertile Flow, which are a mixture of facial reflexology, guided breathwork, guided meditation, gentle release therapy. So I'll be popping those in there when they come around.
Great.
So
And-
lots of things.
And Carly, can you just say something? Because sometimes people might feel a little bit intimidated or a bit kind of like nervous about joining a group online when they don't know anybody. Can you say something about, if somebody's thinking, oh, I'm not sure if it's for me, I feel a bit nervous or intimidated about that kind of situation. Can you say something to try and alleviate that fear? Because it's a common one, isn't it?
Really, really come on. Please come. If you don't feel that it's right, just log off. There's no pressure. Come exactly as you are. This week we had somebody in their dressing gown, which was wonderful. I would have put mine on as well if I'd had time. And I am always getting messages to say, I was really nervous before I came, but I'm really pleased I did. So please come. As I say, if you think within 5 minutes it's not for you, just close down the screen and go back to whatever you were doing, but give it a go because it's a wonderful. I've got a kind of a core group now that come along each month, and I've never had anybody that's not anything but wonderful. So yeah, please come, because you'll be very welcome, and just give it a try. But I completely get how hard it is.
Yeah.
You're really making yourself vulnerable,
Yeah.
and you can sit there. What I do ask is for people to have their screens on, because I I don't feel that it's fair for the people that are opening up if they can't see who's there. You can see your screen off at points if you want to eat dinner or something, but just so we don't think, like, who is that person,
Yeah.
hiding behind the square. But you don't have to speak if you don't want to. You can just sit there and listen. So we meet you wherever you are. So please come.
Yeah. Great. That's what I always think. It's like, what, you might as well give it a try. And if it's not for you, then, there's lots of other ways of getting support.
Absolutely. And so many, honestly, the friendships that have come from the groups, from the Facebook group, as it is, from the tea and chats, from the walks that I've done, are just incredible.
Yeah.
And I had a photograph of, I think I sent it to you, didn't I? I had a photograph of two of my ladies that came along to the tea and chat that met up in real life,
Yeah.
and which is wonderful, which makes my heart sing. So
Yeah. And it's like the two ladies who've done the BFF
absolutely,
podcast.
Catherine. Yeah,
They met in the Facebook group. So, amazing things can happen, can't they, when you reach out?
absolutely.
Lovely.
And then it has a trickle effect, doesn't it? Then that kind of, then people, if people get together, then they'll welcome people in as well. So that's wonderful.
Great. Thank you, Carly. So,
Pleasure.
Morven, last but definitely never least.
You.
Morven, introduce yourself. Tell us what you are going to be doing in the community.
Hello, I am Morven Kenny-McLennan. I am the fertility nurse specialist in the Hannah Power team. And so that means that I am a registered nurse, and it means I have a really Western medical background, and I do work for the NHS in another capacity. So really what I can bring to the group is, obviously we're talking about this community which are coming from really different perspectives, and obviously the whole team comes from a really different perspective, which I think is beautiful. We've got this familiar thread that we can use to advocate and support people, but really from my perspective, what I'm hoping to achieve is to run these monthly sessions, which are going to be question and answers, really casual, and they can an opportunity to come in, pick my brain a little bit, see if I've got anything left I can give you, see if I can point in the right direction of where to send you, or introduce you to a professional who I think can help you with that answer. Talk to you about the guidelines that are coming out of the fertility services that govern the NHS or the private boards in the UK, and just hopefully be that nurse in the equation that you can lean on for that guidance. And also really making sure that I want to make it very clear from my perspective that I'm talking about everybody. I want all people who feel a little bit lost by the medical system to feel they can come and ask these questions, whether that is coming from any community, because we know that different communities are affected by racial and cultural bias within healthcare. And so it's really, really important that I am seen to be saying this. It's really, really important. Please come and ask your questions. I don't care what background you're from. I'm here. So
amazing. And you're going to be doing that's going to be a month, like Tea and Chat is going to be a monthly regular drop in. Anyone can drop in, come and ask you questions. And if you don't know the answer, which I think that's not going to happen, but let's say that if you didn't, you would be able to point somebody in the right direction.
If I'm on an off day, Hannah, I happen to not know the answer, or I can't pull up Google quick. No, I'm kidding. Absolutely, I'll be able to direct somebody in the direction of who to speak to, or different support networks, or absolutely.
Okay, amazing, thank you. So hopefully what we've shown is that between all of us, there's everything you possibly need. I mean, what is missing? I'm not sure. So we've got some Western medicine, we've got emotional support, we've got nutritional support, we've got menstrual cycle support, understanding your fertility. So between us, we really hope to fill in those gaps, because we know when you start Googling and you're trying to find out information, it can very quickly feel overwhelming. You can be on a site that's contradicting another site that you've been on. So we just want to be that space where we're providing really good, solid information and connection and guidance to where to go for the next step. So All the information about how you can join us is going to be on the end of this show. We are really looking forward to welcoming you into the community. As I said, and I'm going to bang on about, because as I'm really proud of it, we're going to keep it for free. We're keeping it accessible. It's online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you can access it. So come in, say hello, introduce yourself to us, and we really look forward to seeing you there. So thank you everybody for your time today. We'll see you in the community. We hope you have found this helpful. If you'd like more on fertility education, please see our Teaching to Conceive free course linked at the end of the show. You'll also find the link to join our community. For more personalised fertility support, you can work with us one-to-one in clinic and online. You can book a discovery call to find out more.